Hello and welcome to the Powerboost meditation. Today, let us experiment with the theme subtract name and form. Subtract name and form. All of us, souls playing our characters in this role world, every character has a name, has a form. And quite often we associate ourselves, we associate others with their name and form. We realize that a lot of bondages in the mind, a lot of attachments in the mind are created to the name and form. A very easy practice to stay soul conscious throughout the day is whenever I meet someone, whenever I interact with someone, initially, let me take a moment and tell myself to just subtract the name and subtract the form. I realize that the soul, the actor that is enacting the role, is nameless. It's just a pure being of light. The name belongs to the role. And the form, whatever is visible, the physical eyes, is also not the reality, because the actor is formless. And so the moment I train myself, train my mind to think in that way, to subtract the name, to subtract the form, then what is left is this beautiful being of light, the soul, without a name and just formless, no physical form, just a being of light. And then it becomes very easy to just appreciate this beautiful being of light, to talk to that being of light. And suddenly there is no more judgment, there is no more labeling, and all the qualities of the soul, innocence, purity, love, uh, happiness, everything just begins to emerge in a very natural way. Now, we all practice this art of becoming bodiless. Um, and so uh, this process of becoming nameless and formless, it's really a very beautiful experience to hold on to. The more I stay nameless, even for the self, when I look at the mirror, I tell myself that the form that is visible to the eyes is an illusion, and I, the being, I am formless, and even the name that has been given to this costume is not my name. I am nameless. And this allows me to stay in the truth. Illusion steps in through these two words, name and form. And the more I keep on subtracting, even something that's happened in the past, and I may be holding on to that story that I have created, the more as I am reliving that past scene of the drama, the more I just subtract the names of everyone and subtract the forms of everyone. All I'm left with to see and acknowledge and appreciate is this tiny being of light, the actor that is playing its role in this world. And so it's very easy then to become soul conscious and to experience the truth. So let us take a few moments to subtract the name and the form. As we sit comfortably and relax ourselves, we realize that The name and form are all attributes of the physical world. They're attributes of the role that I, the being, enact. I realize that the soul, the being, in its very essence, is nameless, it's formless. And let me bring to the screen of my mind everyone that I've interacted with today. And as I bring those scenes in my mind, I tell myself that each one of them is a nameless, formless being. Everyone is an innocent, pure actor who belongs to the divine and is playing their part according to the script that has been assigned to them. I even take my consciousness beyond the costume that I, the being, I'm playing my part through. I realize that the name that I so often associate myself with is the name of this costume. That's not my name. And the form that I'm used to associate is the form of the costume. I realized that there was a time when I, the being, hadn't taken this costume. And that time, without a body, without a costume, I, the being of light, was nameless and formless. That's my reality. And even after this costume dies, I, the being, will still be this beautiful, nameless, formless being of light. As I become aware of this truth, I naturally experience a pull beyond, a pull to experience the reality beyond this temporary world of name and form. I realize that I, the being, I belong to a dimension of light. In this dimension of light, there is a beautiful experience of silence. There is no action, there is no reaction. It is a world where all of us beings of light will live eternally. I appreciate the presence of all the beings without being limited by their name, form. That is an attribute of the role. I have subtracted the name and form to just see the silent, loving being of light. I also acknowledge the presence of the Source, the Divine, who lives in this reality of not being trapped into temporary name and form ever. This being stays in this clarity in a natural way. This being can understand me, know me as I am, without my name and form of the story. The only one that knows me completely, more than I know myself. The only being who has unconditional love for me, just as a being of light. In this moment, let me drop off all the labels, all the stories, all the roles. And in this moment, I am in the presence of the Divine. The most unconditional, non judgmental source of love. I allow myself to be loved by the One. I begin to see myself the way the Divine sees me. And I begin to see everyone else as well. I begin to see the world as well, the way the Divine sees them. I naturally rest my mind on the One. The silent presence of the One allows me to emerge my true nature in a natural way. The true nature of deep love and respect towards the self and others. I stay here in this light, nameless, formless, bodiless. This is all that exists. Everything else is temporary, it belongs to the story world. I take this moment to soak in this truth. I let go of everything else, just holding on to this truth. And now, as it is time for me to return back to the world of sound, to the world of action, as I come back to take support of this physical instrument, I begin to interact with all the actors. I keep in my mind to always subtract the name and form, to stay in the essence and to be myself, the nameless, formless, bodiless being of light. Om Shanti.